Beside a whole bunch of new phone models like every year, 2021 will also bring new versions of accessories like smartwatches and wireless headphones. Some of these had already begun to arrive on the market, so today we get to show you a new addition to Huawei's line of affordable true wireless earbuds, the FreeBuds 4i, which are a direct successor to last year's FreeBuds 3i. So let's see what has changed and how good are the FreeBuds 4i. The first change you'll notice if you're familiar with last year's model is the charging case. Instead of the elongated shape with oval edges, the new model comes in an ellipsoid case, which is neither better nor worse, but simply different. Both are small enough to easily fit into a pocket. The biggest change is actually the inside of the case, as the earbuds are stored in a different position, so the new model is somewhat harder to get out of the case than the FreeBuds 3i. Still, when you find the right way to grab the buds, which in our experience is to place the thumb on the flat extended part and your index finger over the proximity sensor, it should not be a problem. As for the shape of the actual earbuds, that has changed as well. Even though it's a matter of personal preference, we feel the new version looks a bit better and more modern, with the extended part that houses the battery and antennas that does not merge with the earpiece but extends all the way behind it. The weight has remained the same, 5.5 grams per earbud, and so did the wearing comfort, which is great. The earbuds fit ergonomically and will remain in place even when you move, run or work out, which is important not only for active users. This was achieved with the shape of the earbuds, which also provides a very decent passive isolation in conjunction with the silicone tips, which come in 3 different sizes. Outer surface of both earbuds is capacitive touch sensitive, so you can pause the playback with a double tap or answer and cancel the call, while a long press will cycle through different noise reduction modes. Since a single tap does nothing to avoid accidental activation, and both earbuds have identical functions by default, this is not the most flexible solution we've seen on similar models, and it seems a bit limiting, especially if you often like to skip songs on your playlist. Actually, it is possible to independently map functions for both earbuds, as well as assign song skipping, but for that you'll need Huawei AI Live app, but not the version found on Google Play Store, but the one from Huawei App Gallery. If you're already using a Huawei or Honor phone, this is a non-issue, but those with phones from other manufacturers may be reluctant to install another app store on their phones just for this. Either way, the FreeBuds will work fine even without an app, but the app will let you make the most out of them, including updating the firmware, detailed info about battery, and shortcut customization. Compared to last year's model, microphones have been redesigned and are now placed at the end of the extension on the outer side, as well as the beginning of it on the inner side. Naturally, the noise reduction algorithm has changed as well, and is quite efficient, though not the best we've heard from the latest generation of headphones. Long press on the controls will let you cycle through 3 modes: disabled, which uses only a passive isolation to reject noise; active noise reduction, which gives you that feeling of being in a vacuum with no ambient noise and only some muffled sounds getting through; and awareness mode, in which you can hear everything that's going on around you, because the sound picked by the outside microphones is being added in to bypass the passive isolation. Awareness mode is also not as good as on the latest Apple models, but given the price difference, it's more than satisfactory. As for the sound quality, FreeBuds 4i used the 10mm dynamic drivers, same as the 3i model, but this time Huawei mentions the composite polymer membrane, which seems to be new. As on previous Huawei and Honor wireless models, FreeBuds 4i have that same sound signature, which to someone like me who's used to neutral sound of studio monitors and headphones is very familiar. No part of the sound spectrum sticks out, sound is well balanced, with enough detail and, very importantly, pleasant for long listening without ear fatigue. The bass is not overbearing, there's just enough of it to sound convincing without masking the rest of the frequencies. Also, the quality of bass is very high, with minimal distortion and nice transients, plus the bass response is quite flat down to 25 Hz and it extends to a bit below 20 Hz. Another signature Huawei feature is the subtle processing, which provides an excellent soundstage, especially for earbuds, giving you the feeling of listening not to 2 separate sources without nothing in between, but a sound which exists in a certain space, which further improves the good impression, even more so considering the price of this model. FreeBuds 4i are quite loud, with volume at 40% usually being sufficient for normal listening, depending on the source. Speaking of sources, another improvement over the last year's model is the addition of Bluetooth 5.2 instead of 5.0. The official specs do not list the supported Bluetooth codecs, but digging through the developer options we found that it's only SBC and AAC, so no aptX and support for more advanced formats. Sure, some of the pricier models do not support more than that either, but we think it's about time for the mobile industry to take this seriously and improve Bluetooth audio capabilities to a level comparable to that of the cable connection. On the plus side, Bluetooth latency in this case is unnoticeable when connected to other Bluetooth 5 devices, while with older devices it is noticeable but bearable even for watching video, which is usually not the case with other similar models. Also, the wireless connection quality is perhaps the best we've seen so far on any wireless model, including the over-ear ones, and the FreeBuds keep playing without problems even 10 meters away with walls in between, which is when other models would usually start disconnecting or showing at least some signs of being at the edge of their range. This model allows for independent connection of both earbuds, so you can take each of them off during playback, get them back in or out of the case, and the one that's out will always play the sound without interruption. We should also mention the battery, which is 55 mAh per earbud, with an additional 215 mAh within the case, which can charge your earbuds when you're not using them. The case is charged via USB Type-C, so there's no wireless charging, which remains reserved for higher-priced models. The battery inside the earbuds allows for up to 10 hours of interrupted playback, while the case adds additional 12 hours on top of that. Also, 10-minute charging is enough for 4 hours of playback, which is handy if you need the earbuds and have forgotten to charge them. All in all, compared to the full-blooded FreeBuds model, HUAWEI FreeBuds 4i should probably be called FreeBuds Essentials instead, since they offer all the most important features but in a more affordable format. Very good sound quality with perhaps the best frequency response curve in its class, efficient noise reduction with ambient mode, and reliable and flexible Bluetooth connection make this model easy to recommend. For most users, this will be more than enough to fill their needs, while those who want more will have to pay a nice premium to get more advanced Bluetooth codecs, wireless charging, and perhaps a more refined design. As always, we want to hear your thoughts on this model, so please share them in the comments below. What do you think are its good and bad sides, and what features do you find important when looking for wireless earbuds? We hope you liked this video enough to give us a thumbs up and maybe consider subscribing to our channel for more interesting content. You are watching Mensch House, my name is Ivan, and I'll see you next time.